On April 11th, 2023, Danny Phantom posted a video talking about the prices of Tag Team Alt Arts. And as he's going through his usual spiel of regurgitating prices from TCG Player like it's an episode of Mad Money, Danny starts acting suspicious when he gets to the Greninja and Zoroark GX. Here he claims that he can only show us the 3-month price chart because the 1-year price chart is apparently messed up.
The actual 1-year graph on TCG Player was very messed up, so I took the 3-month graph, but this is what it's done just over the past 3 months. You can see in January, the last time that we talked about Sun and Moon alternate arts, it was sitting at $45.04.
Now, both the 6-month and the 1-year price charts are working fine, and based on how TCG Player works, if the price chart for one card is messed up, it means that the charts for all other cards is messed up. But the reason why he didn't show us the 1-year price chart, or let alone the 6-month price chart, for that card is because it shows that the card is being bought out and that the price is being manipulated. Now, it may not be as easy to tell with the other cards in that video, but going off the pricing, the amount of availability, and the frequency of transactions that Daniel has documented in what is now becoming a bi-monthly pump the stock video on Sun and Moon Alt Arts, you can tell that the prices of these cards are being manipulated, and I find it suspicious that the card Danny hypes up the most is the one that he owns and is actively buying.
And one of my favorite purchases that I bought at the Fort Wayne regional tournament that happened a couple weeks ago, somebody came up and they had a Latias and Latios GX alternate art, and I thought to myself, I just love this card. You know, I have one that we pulled in some beyond lucky moment, and that was it. I remember that Latias and Latios GX card selling for $30, $40 a couple weeks after release when Team Up came out, and not jumping on a bunch of them then was, now looking back, was just a dumb decision. But this card has skyrocketed.
Now, Daniel just admitted that he should have bought out the card when it was cheaper. And here is what he had to say about the prices of the other cards featured in the video.
Holy buckets, this card has gotten so expensive. So I'm starting to look at all these other tag team alternate arts, and some of them are just doing the same thing. Just, there is no end in sight.
Now, Daniel's message is pretty clear. He wishes he would have bought more when these cards were cheaper, and the price of these cards keeps going up. Let's listen to what he has to say about the availability of these cards.
There is a lot less quantity of these cards probably in existence as what you will see from like the Umbreon VMAX, from the Gengar VMAX, from the Espeon VMAX. Even though those are secret rare VMAXs and a lot more difficult to pull, when you start talking about the amount of print waves that these sets have had, it probably just blows the amount of print waves that Team Up had out of the water.
So even though Daniel isn't directly saying it, by implying scarcity and bringing up ever-rising prices, he is trying to get you to make a move on these cards today. Now let's listen to what he has to say about his favorite card that he's trying to pump.
There was only a handful that were available, none of them being near mint, which means as soon as one of the near mints gets listed on there and sells, that is going to establish a new market price for this Latias and Latios GX. And who sets the market price? Well, it's whatever a collector is willing to pay for that item. So if a collector is like, well, I want to pay $700 for this card, and if somebody puts it up there for $700 and the collector is like, yeah, I think that's worth it, then all of a sudden this hollow foil market price jumps up.
Now within 48 hours of that video going live, copies of that card in near mint condition were being listed on TCG Player at a minimum of $739. And in less than 1 week after that video went live, copies of that card are now selling for over $700 and have even sold for $800. Now, as the price of the card was blowing up, PokeVault had covered it in one of his videos. Let's listen to what he has to say.
What I'm trying to do is figure out what in the world has sparked this craze specifically for this card, and I want to try to bottle this lightning that is happening. I mean, you guys can see it right here, just raw, and this went up actually $20 from last night. This card is now going for $443. This card used to go for 50 or 60 bucks when the set first came out, and now it's approaching $500 and almost $2,000 in a PSA 10. To put that into perspective for someone with me, old brain, old habits, old Pokemon cards, the caliber of vintage card that you could get in a PSA 10 for almost $2,000 is up there. And for this card, which I would argue is very contemporary, obviously, compared to those cards, going at this price, fetching $2,000 for a PSA 10 is mind-boggling to me. But hey, it's the times, it's what people are into, and we have to make note of it and give it the attention it deserves, honestly.
Now, as much as I don't like the guy or his content, I have to give him credit where it's due, because he read off the price in front of him and he didn't speculate about how many near-mint copies of the card exist. Whereas Daniel went out of his way to speculate about the future price of the card, how anyone could set it, and how many copies of the card exist. Now, I previously showed you all how Daniel raised the cost of building a deck by encouraging his followers to buy out and scalp staples. And here he is pumping the price of Sun and Moon era alt arts. And if you think it ends there, I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Daniel does this with every set. This guy loves to hype up and pump products that he is literally sitting on top of, and I know I'm going to get ratioed by the fan clan for this, but if I don't say something, no one else will. But that's all I've got for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? And as always, I will catch all of you slow bros and ho-ohs later. Bye.